Hello Skinnies, Nick here. How are you all today? I'm so excited. I am so excited. So, surprise. We have been working, I'll wait until a few more people come in, but we've been working, of course, on our next book, because this is what we do in the Skinny Mixers kitchen. We've been working very hard on our next book, and this book, let me tell you, I have wanted to do it for the last 5 books, but it really felt like it was the right time this time. So welcome to the Skinny Mixers Matrix Skinny Mediterranean. Now, it's such a popular request that we get all the time, you know, more Mediterranean recipes, you know, people on the Mediterranean diet. And so we knew, like I knew that it was high on my list of what I wanted to do ASAP. And of course, being Greek myself and just absolutely adoring Mediterranean food, I knew this was going to be the best book that we ever wrote. So here we are. Now I'll get the business stuff out of the way with, and then I'll show off my dinner, and I'll talk through a few little things that I want to cover. But tonight, starting from tonight, we're doing a huge giveaway. We do it every book. We are giving away 100 signed copies of Skinny Med. I'm just going to start calling it Skinny Med from this point onwards, because I can't spell Mediterranean, and I get tongue-tied every time I try to say it more than once in a row. So Skinny Med. We're giving away 100 signed copies every night for the next 10 nights. And all you have to do to be in the running for a free copy of this book is to tag a friend that you think would also like a copy. Now, keeping in mind, you don't have to have a Thermomix. It is Thermomix and conventional cooking like always. So even if you have a family member who maybe they want to eat healthy, or maybe they just, you know, went to Europe for summer and now they're missing the food, but they don't have a Thermomix. First of all, they should get one. But second of all, they can use this book as well. So tag your friends and family in the comment below. That's all you have to do to enter. And you can enter as many times as you like. So over the next 10 nights, tag as many family and friends as you can to increase your chances of winning one of the signed copies. And today I did a little competition as well, and I will announce that over the next few days who won that, but some of the entries were so funny. So if you're interested in doubling your chances of winning a free copy of Skinny Med, I'm going to give away a copy on that thread as well. Now, and maybe a couple of extra little things, we'll see. Now, let's get to this beautiful book, because this book is so beautiful and so close to my heart. I'm saying a lot tonight because I'm like nervous, because I haven't gone live for so long because I had influenza A, and I'm only just starting to get better. So for dinner tonight, I have leftovers chicken shawarma with the most delicious dressing that you will ever try. I'm like so excited about this one. So this is an amazing one because you can cook it ahead of time, meal prep it, you can have it in a wrap. We've got pita pockets in this book as well as pita breads. So if you are keen on a puffy pita pocket that you can stuff full of, you know, chicken shawarma with beautiful salad and labna, we have you covered. We have you absolutely covered. And you will be licking this sauce off of your fingers. It's so delicious. And then for dessert tonight, something that I honestly never thought that I would be able to do. For those of you who know, you absolutely know. I've been asked for 12 years to do a healthy galata burko. This is my favorite dessert since I was a little girl. Like, I'm talking any family function that we would have, we would go in and I would run straight to the Greeks. We always have the dessert table already out, ready to go. It's not like it's a surprise at the end of the night what we're serving. I would always run straight up to the dessert table to see if one of my aunties had brought galata burko. Now, I worked really, really hard on this recipe. I must have done it probably 10 times to make sure that it was perfect and a little bit healthier. So I nailed it. I'm very proud of that. And if there's any reason to buy this book, it's for that recipe alone. It's definitely healthier than what you get from your like local Greek restaurants or cafes. Definitely healthier than what my mum makes, my dad. But to me, it's first of all, I think it tastes better than the traditional recipe, and it's healthier as well. And that's what this book really is all about. It's taking as many of the recipes that we all know and love, super, super popular recipes, and making them just a little bit healthier. That's really what we're all about here in Skinny Mixers. So let me run through some of the recipes, some of my favorites. I want to go through some of my favorites. So it's the biggest, it's not the biggest, it's bigger than SkinnyAsia. So we've got, I think it's 60 plus fresh recipes, because I think there's still one or two more that I might write. I just haven't told Cyan about that yet. So we're saying 60 plus, because I might chuck a few extras in there if she lets me. But it's one of the things that I loved about writing this book was finding out what Mediterranean actually meant. So when I heard Mediterranean, I was thinking Greek, Italian. That was about it. To me, that was like my extensive knowledge of what the Mediterranean was. And then once I started actually researching what countries made up the Mediterranean and are on the Mediterranean Sea, all of a sudden I realized this was honestly going to be the best book we ever wrote, because I have always wanted to do like a Middle Eastern book, but it's such a hard sell for people who don't grow up in or don't live in communities like I do, that's super multicultural, and like I can just walk down the road and go to any kind of, Turkish, Lebanese, Afghani. Like, I'm so lucky that I live in South Australia because I have access to those kinds of foods. But when I realized that I could put those countries into this book, I was so excited. So we have recipes from Morocco, Spain, we've got Lebanese recipes, we've got Turkish recipes. What else have we got? My memory isn't the best. France, Italy, Greece, lots of Italian recipes, lots and lots and lots of Italian. Actually, one of the recipes that is in the book is one that I learned to make in Florence at a Skinny Mixers cooking school, and it's a ricotta and spinach gnudi, which is like a naked ravioli. So I'm excited for you guys to try that one. But we have like a meze section, of course, because that's very Mediterranean, very Euro, which is like a sharing, stuff that you can share with your family and friends. So this is going to be another amazing addition for Christmas time, for your dinner tables. So probably some of my favorites in that section, a recipe that I've wanted to do ever since I went to Greece and I went to Santorini, and I had the Santorini tomato fritters. So I've put that recipe in this section because they are so delicious, and so unique. If you haven't tried them before, you're going to love them. We've also got ladenia, which is like a Greek flatbread. It's got onion on it. It's hard to explain, but trust me, you're gonna love it. And another one that we tried in this section that I actually hadn't had before, but I kept reading about it and I thought that sounds like one of the most beautiful dips I've ever heard, was the muhammara. And I know I'm probably butchering the way that I say that, but the muhammara, it's like a capsicum and walnut dip, and it's so smoky, and it's just, oh, you guys are going to put that on everything. So that section I think is really, really cool. We've also got spinach and feta gozleme. So I'm in love with those, with like fresh lemon juice. Everything in that section I love. And then we've got sides and salads. So tons of fresh salads, tons of vegetables. This is probably the most fresh book that we've ever written, I would say. Like, it's got lots and lots of veggies, lots of fruit, salad, stuff like that. So the sides, when I say that though, like my favorite recipe in this section is the confit artisan bread, and it has like an olive and garlic confit that you make, and then you make a high hydration dough and you turn it into honestly one of the best breads in the world. So that's not that's not super skinny at all, but that one is so good. I just really wanted to try making a really, really yummy olive bread, and Lani smashes it. She loves that one. And if you don't like olives, we've got alternatives, of course, but if you don't like olives, you're wrong and you should absolutely start eating them because they're really good for you. The fattoush salad. So we have an air fryer fattoush. So who doesn't love fattoush, but deep fried pita? Not the healthiest choice in a salad. We have all of the flavors that you would want in that salad, and we teach you how to make really crispy, yummy croutons, fried pitas in your air fryer or oven, of course, if you don't have an air fryer. But that fattoush, I think, is going to be very, very popular. And there's so many recipes that go alongside it. So many recipes in that section, but you can read about them. I want to talk about my favorites. Now, in the fast section, we've got, I made the chili garlic prawns today, and we put it through a pasta. That is going to be a super popular recipe because it's under 20 minutes and there's so many different ways that you can serve it, and it's packed full of so much flavor as well, and it's pantry staple ingredients. The only thing you're going to have to buy when you cook that one is prawns. And we get the prawns from Coles or Woolies that are already shelled. So all you have to do is defrost them and chuck them in your Thermomix. It's literally one of the easiest meals you'll ever make. Then we've got cacciatore rissoles. So when Grant wrote that recipe, I was like, this is a winner for me. And we served it alongside the caprese salad. And I was in wishing I was in Italy, but happy that I was eating such fresh and delicious food at home. So I think they're going to be a big hit. And then the budget section. Now this one, I'm going to put my paper down because I got to use my hands for this one. So in the budget section, one of the recipes that we came up with, actually Grant wrote this recipe and he nailed this one too, was the doner kebab or doner kebab, I don't know. We don't have them here in Adelaide, but I've eaten them in Sydney and in Melbourne, and delicious. But we wanted to come up with a way that we could nail that without too much effort. And when you guys see how we achieved it, you're going to be so impressed. And then honestly, the sauce that goes with it with the tabbouleh in the book, or a fresh salad and in the pita pockets, heaven. I had my sister and her husband and their little girl over to try it, and we ate an entire 2 rolls of the doner kebab in one sitting. We just didn't stop. It was so yummy. So I know that that's going to be very, very popular amongst the community. And ricotta and spinach gnudi that I already talked about. Then we've got family favorites. So my favorite recipe in this section, hands down, it sounds a bit weird, guys, but hear me out. It is a bolognese risotto with hidden veg. Everything gets cooked in the Thermomix bowl, but it has, I think, 5 hidden veg in it as well, and you cannot tell that they're in there. And it tastes like the most rich, delicious. It makes me, for those out there who are Greek or have a little taste of Greece and know the, oh my goodness, I just had the stuffed capsicums. I'm having, honestly, the biggest mental blank right now. Stuffed capsicums. How do I not remember the name for that? Anyway, mental blank. It's fine, I'll move on. It tastes like the rice in that, but better because it's saucy. And like I said, it all cooks in the bowl as well. And that one is a really, really, really good recipe. My daughter came home from school the other day and she smashed a whole bowl of it. So that's going to be a winner. Like I said, tons of hidden veg in it too. And it all cooks in the bowl. Yeah, mister. Duh. Sorry, you guys. I'm just so excited that I can't remember the name of a dish that I've eaten almost every week of my life since I was a little girl. Now, in that section, another one of my absolute favorites is the pasta al forno with a ricotta bechamel. I know that doesn't sound, if you're not Italian, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it's a it's a pasta bake with a ricotta sauce on top of it, but you make Italian sausage yourself instead of buying Italian sausage. So that is phenomenal, like phenomenal. I can't wait for you guys to try it. Chicken shawarma, that's what I had for dinner tonight. Now in the chef's specials, we have so many things that I think are so impressive. We've got the slow roasted pomegranate lamb. This is the best lamb shoulder that you've ever eaten in your life. It is so good. And there's someone asked where I got my dress. This is just an internet cheapie. Don't tell anyone. So there's a labna recipe in the book. We teach you how to make labna. And then that spread over the platter with the lamb put on top of it and the meat pulled off of the bone, and then a beautiful fresh herb salad on top, and the muhammara. If you can come up with a better tasting combination of recipes than that, I'll quit my job, because hands down, I don't think there's anything better in the world. I actually ate a dish very similar at a restaurant here in Adelaide, and I've wanted to recreate those flavors ever since. And so I think that if you're entertaining family and friends, or maybe you're doing a Sunday roast and you want to introduce something a little bit different, this is going to be probably the recipe that makes you the most famous cook in your family, hands down. Now, slow cooked ragu. We're utilizing the slow cooker function in the TM6 and 7 for that recipe, but of course you can just use the standard slow cooker. But the way that it cooks it, and the lamb just falls apart, or beef if you want to use beef, and it's such a versatile recipe and it makes so much food. So it's a really great way to do some meal prepping and, you know, turn them into all different kinds of things. Like we did a lasagna, we made it into pies. I just put it over pasta. It's really good just in a bowl with veg. Very, very versatile recipe. And so cheap as well, like very budget friendly. So I don't know if I've got a hair in my eye now. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this properly, but steak à poivre, I think. I'm not French and I'm really bad with French words, but steak à poivre is the most phenomenal thing I've ever eaten in my life, like hands down. I know I've said that about a few recipes, but that one, when Mez and I ate it, Grant made it, it just blew us away. We were like, how did we even make food that tastes this good? And it's like a pepper steak with a really, really luscious, rich pepper sauce that goes over the top of it. You guys are going to impress your family and friends so much if you do that one. And I put that alongside, there's a roasted vegetable mash in the book and seasonal greens on a plate. So it's super healthy, but a little bit decadent as well with that creamy sauce. Then desserts, of course, like I mentioned, we have the galette de bourgogne, of course. Like, it does not get any better than this, you guys. Look at that. It's so yummy. I can't wait to finish this and eat all this food. We have a couple of other things in that section though that I'm equally excited about. So we made an easy tiramisu. You will not be able to make an easier tiramisu than this. There's no mucking around with making biscuits or cakes and layers and stuff. This tiramisu you can make with your eyes closed. It's so easy, but it tastes like the tiramisu. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. When you're sitting in an Italian restaurant and you order the tiramisu and the waiter comes out with a big silver bowl and he grabs a big spoon and he plonks it straight on your plate, that's what this tiramisu is. So I'm really, really, really pumped for you guys to try that one. And I'm on purposefully calling it easy tiramisu because I do genuinely think it's the easiest tiramisu that you could ever make. So that one to me is very exciting. We've got some really healthy stuff in that section as well. We've got a Greek yogurt panna cotta. This panna cotta, it's made with Greek yogurt, but it doesn't taste like it's Greek yogurt. So it's full of protein. This is going to be, I think, a hit recipe, not just for desserts, dinner parties, stuff like that, but I think I'm positive that I will see people making this for breakfast There's no reason why it can't be a delicious breakfast food. So that one for me is high on my list of things that I think will go viral in the community and will be very, very popular. It also only takes a handful of minutes to make. So it's going to be really, really popular for dinner parties. Like you can make them a couple of days ahead of time, put them in the fridge with Glad wrap on them, and they're ready to go. I actually have some in the fridge now, so I might just grab one and show you quickly. Now I can't take it out of the mold because I'm actually photographing it tomorrow, but it's a classic panna cotta, and then there's a berry coulis that goes on top. So I think they're going to be incredibly popular again. I'm trying to come up with more descriptions. I'm not doing very well tonight. The baklava bites are fantastic. We have an olive oil citrus cake that is really beautiful, and a couple of. We've got one cheeky cocktail now, which is like a spritz, but that's one of the things that I think I might try and convince Cyan to let me do, is maybe write one more cocktail recipe for the book. Another cheeky cocktail, because I know Skinny Mixers love their cheeky little cocktails occasionally. So that's on my list of things to do tomorrow to finish this book off completely. Is try and convince Sai that we need one more cocktail. So if you have a favorite cocktail, a Mediterranean inspired cocktail that you'd love to see in the book, put it in the comments as well. Help me out here, you guys. Get me over the line with her, because I reckon we can convince her that another cheeky cocktail is definitely a good idea. Anyway, so we have, this book's like absolutely jam-packed full of really healthy, delicious recipes. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about it so far. I mean, the launch date is on the 10th of October. But between now and then, for the next 10 nights, we're giving away 100 signed copies of Skinny Mediterranean. All you have to do is tag your family and friends below if you think they would like to win a copy as well. They don't have to have a Thermomix. And if they do have a Thermomix, it just makes cooking the recipes even easier. But yeah, no, get tagging away, you guys. You can enter as many times as you like. There's no limit. Just don't get yourself in trouble entering too many times too fast. But other than that, I think I've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover. And I just want to tell you guys, this recipe, again, is full of recipes that are very, very important to me. A lot of my family's recipes, Greek recipes, a lot of Italian recipes that I learned to cook growing up with some extended Italian family as well. And Turkish recipes too, because where my family are from originally, because we're Pontian, is actually where Turkey is now. So a lot of our food is actually a lot closer to Turkish food than Greek food traditionally. So yeah, very, very excited to introduce you guys to some more unique flavors from my childhood and my growing up as well. But don't worry, like always, this recipe book is budget friendly. We're using pantry staples. You don't have to run out and buy too many weird things. I think the weirdest thing in the book that we've put in there is pomegranate molasses, and we teach you how to make it with pomegranate juice from the supermarket. So I think that is the weirdest one. So don't stress. It's very, very, very budget friendly, pantry friendly, and healthy. I can see like lots of people have been commenting on my weight loss. I've been going to the gym 3 or 4 days a week, but also exclusively eating from Skinny Mediterranean. So it's got to do something. It's doing something. I'll keep at it. But other than that, I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting Skinny Mixers. And to everyone that I've met over the last few months at the cooking classes who begged to know what the book was, and I maybe gave them hints along the way. A couple of you guessed correctly, and a couple of you were very cheeky with your bribes and stuff like that. But I appreciate you guys being so enthusiastic, and I loved meeting you all so much as well. Can't wait to meet more of you in South Australia in a few weeks, but I will see you all very, very soon. And yeah, now that I've let the cat out the bag, I can start going live more again with the food during the day when we're cooking and stuff. So that's really exciting. All right, love you guys. See ya.